Long words are easy to read if they're already divided into syllables. Before we get started, there are a few terms you need to know. The letters A, E, I, O, and U are vowels. The letter Y is a vowel most of the time. The consonants are all the other letters, and the letter Y when it's used as the sound of Y. A syllable is a unit of speech with a vowel sound, and an accented syllable is emphasized by saying it louder and with a clear vowel sound. Sometimes it's called a stressed syllable. If you've ever looked in the dictionary and seen this upside down backwards E, that is what we call a schwa. And the schwa sound is a muffled sound that usually comes out sounding like a short U sound of or sometimes a short I sound of I. The schwa sound can replace the vowel sound in any unaccented vowel in a word. And finally, an unstressed syllable is a syllable that isn't accented. Why does it matter if you understand what accented or stressed means? The word accent itself is a clue. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to understand a native speaker from another country. For example, in the United States, we call cell phones mobile phones, where the first syllable is accented with a clear O sound. British English says mobile phones, where there is a long I sound in the second syllable. That long I sound schwas in American English and completely disappears. Another word with a difference between American and British English is the word progress, which in American English has a short O sound, whereas the British pronounce it progress with a clear long O sound. Also, we have the word frustrate in American English with a short U sound. My understanding is that the British say frustrate, where the second syllable is accented or said a little louder. So why does knowing how to accent the syllables correctly matter? Well, if you've ever made a call to a call center in another country, you've experienced how hard it can be to understand someone who's not a native speaker of English. Even if the person can say most English sounds correctly, if they're accenting the wrong syllables, you might have a very hard time understanding what the person is saying. Fortunately for new readers, 200 years ago, Noah Webster, yes, he's the one the dictionary is named after, went through the English language and divided thousands of words into syllables and put them in an order to help students learn to read. You can find this if you look up Webster Speller. There are many editions, and I've gone through and picked out many of the words to put in this program. We're going to start with words from Table 4. In these words, the bolder syllable is the accented one. So you want to say that a little louder. In all of these words on this page, we have 2-syllable words where the first syllable will be accented. In these words right here, the Y at the end is going to have a long E sound. So we have happy, not happy, happy, tally, penny, jolly, folly, puppy, chilly. Remember, CH says ch, and muddy. What you might notice is that in all of these syllables, we have a short vowel sound. So when you're looking at a word that is already divided into syllables, if the vowel is in the middle of the syllable, try the short sound. All of these words end in ER, which has the sound of Again, these words all have a first syllable that is accented. So it's going to be rammer, not rammer. Manner, not manner. Ladder, stammer, latter, scatter, pepper. CH says ch most of the time. Chatter, shatter, letter. I'd like to point out that while I am pronouncing these double T's with very clear sounds, in American English, most of the time they sound more like ladder, chatter, shatter, and letter. In other words, Americans tend to substitute a D sound for the T sound. Here are more words ending in better, dinner, differ, sinner, litter, glitter. Note in these words, I'm doing it with the standard American pronunciation, which I do automatically, where the T sounds more like a D. Bitter, glimmer, robber, fodder, offer, drummer, gunner, gutter, mutter. Note that these syllables with a vowel in the middle or at the beginning of the syllable have the short sound. Batter, flatter, tanner, tattler, smuggler. Here are more two-syllable words that are accented on the first syllable. Just like the previous page, the words have all been divided between the double consonants. So right here, we divide between the two T's, the two P's, the two F's, the two L's, and so on. Once again, Noah Webster did the work for us. So we have flutter, upper, utter, suffer. In all of these words, the O in the final syllable is going to schwa, which means it'll generally have a short U sound of but it might come out sounding like a short I sound of it. Again, the schwa is a muffled sound that can take the place of any unaccented vowel. So all these first syllables are accented, which means they will have their clear, short sounds. But these O's are going to schwa. So we have gallop with a clear, short A, gammon, common, and summon. In all of these words, the vowel in our accented syllable has its clear, short sound, while the O schwas. In these words, our EL at the end is going to schwa. Remember that CH says ch most of the time. So we have channel. So it's not channel with a clear, short E sound. It's channel, flannel, vessel, funnel, kennel. In these words right here, we don't have a schwa. We have the normal ER sound here. Pattern, wedding, NG says ng, vellum, SH says sh, rubbish, shilling. Here we have more words. In all of these words, the first syllable is accented, so the vowel in the middle is going to have its clear short sound except for OR, which is going to have or. And our last syllable is not accented. In these words, the E is going to schwa. In these words, the A will schwa. Sudden, sullen, gusset, gullet, plummet. In accented syllables, AR says R. In unaccented syllables, it could schwa, like at the end of these words. So we have pillar. So it's not pillar, it's pillar. Dollar, not dollar, dollar. So when these ARs schwa, it sounds more like an ER. Ballad. OR says or, so we have horrid. In this word, the C is going to say S. It's soft sound. It always does this when followed by an EI or a Y. This E is not going to make this I have its long sound because our first syllable is accented. So since this syllable is accented, this I becomes a short I. Again, this E just makes the C say S. It does not make the I have its long sound. So we have the word office, not office, office. In all of these words, we have vowel teams where we split between the vowels. The words in this column have two syllables where the first is accented and the second is not. When a syllable ending in a vowel is accented, we try the vowel's long sound. In these unaccented syllables, the A is going to schwa. So we have dial with a clear long I and the A schwas. Trial, pliant. This G will say J most of the time, but not always. A G has its soft sound of J when followed by an EI or a Y. Giant, liar. In all of these words, the first syllable is accented, so we try the vowel's long sound first, and the second syllable is not accented, so our E will schwa. Quiet, diet, poet, gruel, fluent. In these words, the O will schwa, and the accented syllable will have its long sound. Lion, riot, ruin, truant, fuel, cruel. I would like to point out that in much of the US, these words are pronounced as one syllable. So you will hear both fuel and fuel, cruel and cruel. These words don't have a double consonant and they don't have a vowel team where the vowels get split. Instead, they have been divided after a vowel before a single consonant. After a vowel, before a single consonant. Again, after a vowel, before a single consonant. When the syllable is accented, like all of these first syllables, and it ends in a vowel, we try the vowel's long sound. Baker, sober, paper, wafer, taper. This G is going to have its soft sound of J because of the E. Wager, raker, maker, fever. This C will have its soft sound of S because of the I. Cider, viper, spider, trader, rider, ruler. Again, in all of these words, they were divided after a vowel before a single consonant. And since the first syllable was accented, we used the long sound for the syllable. Here are some more words like that. These words in the first two columns end in a Y, where the Y has the long E sound. Crazy, duty, lazy, lady, holy, very, gravy. SH says sh, shady, glory, duty. In these words, the first syllable is accented, so we use the long sound, and the AL sound is going to schwa, so it's not going to be a clear AL sound, it's going to be ul. Fatal, again, not fatal, it's fatal. Final, vital, vocal, frugal, total, and legal. Here are some more words where the first syllable is accented, so we will use the long sound, and the second syllable is not accented, so the vowel will schwa. Idle, pilot, tutor. Notice that the OR, when not accented, sounds more like like an ER. Student, silent, moment, student, prudent, over, pagan, vacant, human, stupid, focus. In this word, this E will have its clear, short E sound and will not schwa. Precept,